Hello Indie Game fan, February had its share of unique, smaller games, but let's begin with a more conventional pixel art Metroidvania in Elderand. By all accounts, this game is fine, with some good pixel art as well as a fun grappling hook system, but I wouldn't go so far as to call this a masterpiece. Much like the Tarnishing of Juxtia from last year, it is in that mid-range of games, good enough not to be bad, but not good enough to be great, but I do still think there's fun to be had here. Perhaps unsurprisingly, Loretta didn't perform extremely well in terms of sales by my estimates, since it is in a little bit more of a niche genre, falling in that thriller space where you play as an accomplice to the protagonist who's committing all sorts of crimes, being equal parts tense and shocking. An impressive pixel art title that is worth a mention is Tower Escape, a reverse tower defense game where you're leading a train of monsters through a dungeon, guiding them from one level to the next. It is a roguelite, where the levels do randomize from run to run, but where you can pick up gems and relics to help you along the way, with an auto-battler style unit combining system as well, so there's plenty to love for tower defense fans since you're put on the other side.
Ducks! Retro video games that will blow your mind! And ducks! Duck, there's also cats here! Look, you need to poke them with your finger on their noses, but don't poke the evil ones, they will bite you! As well, that one Western jewel, grandfather swelled up and throws an axe! The same every frame. Oh my god, what is this? How to pass it? And the final boss is a bug that even the editor of this trailer could not pass the first time!
If you love WarioWare games, I would recommend that you check out Duck, Dangerous Ultimate Cartridge Kidnapper, which, full disclosure, did sponsor video on this channel, but there's enough variety here for it to be interesting. There are over 100 micro games with a humorous and irreverent tone, so you can test your reflexes with this. There have not been that many farming action roguelites, so of course, I have to give Voltaire the Vegan Vampire a special mention, where it mixes farming and defense. The hand-drawn art is awesome, as is the tension in having to defend your base and crops against waves of enemies, with fun upgrades as well, making it one to watch in early access. I did give the 1.0 release of Merge and Blade a special mention in a surprise releases video, where this roguelite Match 3 Auto Battler is great and deserves a spot on this list. You're dropping your units into formation in a puzzle game kind of way, where adjacent units can then combine into a higher tier, where the type and position of all your units will factor into their combat success. It is strategic and tactical while still being accessible to the casual player, where I think that the Auto Battler might be coming back, so check out this one if you have not.
Welcome, Scout! So you got to the base in one piece. Good! I'd say I hope y'all find it adequate, but I won't. After all, it's your job to expand it. But don't forget, Scout, what you're really here for. You see a rock that's glowing? Drill. Drill! And drill some more. When in doubt, Scout, drill the hell out of Lumen. And yes, the monsters, there are some. Shoot them. Blow them up. You know the drill, Scout. Good luck, son. Over and out.
A great game that just released out of early access is Lumencraft, a top-down mining and defense title where players seek out a precious glowing pink mineral known as Lumen, a power source for humanity in this grim dark universe. Of course, digging deeper will trigger enemies that attack you and your base, so it is about ensuring that your defenses are in place as well. If you love mining and tower defense titles, this is one to get, with some procedural generation to keep things fresh. On the surface, Your Turn to Die, Death Game by Majority is not really my kind of game, but I do have to give props where it's due, being a single-player horror adventure death game along the likes of Danganronpa, where a group of strangers are trapped in a mysterious location and have to come to consensus on who must die. It is pretty grim in that death game kind of way despite the adorable look, and has had a very positive reaction so far, but do note that it is still in early access with more scenarios and stories to come.
Battled the evil monsters for many years.
If you're in the mood for a beat-em up, I do think that Knights of Braveland will be of interest, one with co-op support for up to 4 players and even a roguelite structure for plenty of replayability. There's a little bit of a Castle Crashers vibe due to the art style, with plenty of loot and equipment to keep each run unique, with random events in between combat for some added flavour. A very cozy pixel art game with a twist is this
Farm Simulation RPG,
where it is not just about farming, but also exploring and cataloguing the flora and fauna of the world. All the farming sim elements are here, including growing crops, raising animals and going on dates with the local villagers, where Research Story has impressed in early access so far, with more content to come over the next 6 to 12 months, where if you want completed relaxing games, you can find them in this video.